you know, you could talk to another alcoholic or addict, and also, you know, now with Zoom, you know, I'm sure that they have a laundry list of Zooms that you can log into, and you know, join a you know, sober group.
And
so
is your program free, you guys? Your 12 step?
Yes, for fun and for free. But here's the thing. Part of why we wanted to do this podcast was exactly for that. For some people don't have the awareness. There's still a stigma attached, obviously, not just to being an alcoholic, not just to being a drug addict, but also even to therapy. I know that there's people,
absolutely,
you know, it's that old kind of ridiculous thinking, a shrink, and if I go to a therapist and people find out, they're going to think I'm crazy, which is completely wrong. And we know that, right?
Yeah,
I agree
absolutely.
with
it actually takes courage to be able to.
It does take courage. You know, one thing I was going to say is, it's very interesting. When I did these TV shows where I was doing therapy with people on television, so like Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott, I did therapy with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm thinking while I'm doing this, is this going to help people? What's this going to be like? I got tens of thousands of emails from people telling me how it changed their life, watching a couple in therapy, realizing that their marital issues they weren't the only ones.
I mean,
hearing how it worked,
how
it made them feel like they could get therapy.
Yeah, this is how me and Ann met. It was me and my mother that was in therapy, and it was so intense, you guys. I'm still like shocked at how deep we got.
I could do therapy with my mom. Oh. Because my mom turned into a life coach. That relationship got really fucked up for a brief period of time, because when I would call her, it's like, okay, are you life coaching me? Or are you being my mom right now? And now,
my mom is definitely not a life coach.
Now we have that boundary set where she knows when we're seeing each other and we're on the phone, you're my mom. That's all I want from you, is to be my mom. So,
but I mean, like
I can't wait to hear that from my kids. I can't wait till my kids ask if I'm being a psychologist with them or just being their mom. Not yet, but someday, I'm sure.
I do believe, though, Dr. Wexler, that if that were to air, it would have helped a lot of moms and daughters and lots of other people. To your point,
the therapy we did. Yeah. We did it for a TV show.
It was a sizzle,
to sell a TV show, and then it didn't end up airing.
No, but it
was powerful.
Started my mom to want to go to therapy, which was great. Yeah,
it did. Yeah,
it is amazing.
Well, and another interesting. Yeah.
No, please. Another interesting
piece of it, which I mean is unique to a podcast or a TV show or something where there's a lot of people listening and watching, is that some people are able to say things that they could never say privately to their spouse, to their friend. They feel like the microphone, the platform, the podcast, whatever, gives them a voice.
Yes, and accountability.
And accountability, but what it really taught me was how many people don't feel like they have a voice in their own relationships.
Yeah, or they're scared. They're scared to have one, or scared at their reaction as to, you know, what their spouse is going to think or whatever. But Dr. Wexler, thank you so much.
And so that's kind of why I'm really interested in like Dr. Wexler coming on today, because
Dr. Ann Wexler.
I'm always super fascinated with the psychology behind everything, addiction, you know, traumas, all of it.
I mean, speaking of boxes and just me as an addict, you know, there's been this whole controversy, I guess, internally. So I have known Dr. Ann Wexler for many years, and I actually met her when my mom and she's like, I guess you can say like a TV therapist, right? So like, you know, we worked really close back in the day, like over a decade ago, when the BBC wanted to do a reality show of me and my family. And one of the scenes, I guess you can say, was my mother and I in therapy. And I've always wanted to go to therapy with my mom, you know, and my mom had a little bit of like, she was open to it, but you know, it's always that feeling of like, is it going to be one-sided? Is it going to be fair? You know, and I have to say that Dr. Ann Wexler, she was great. I mean, like, it was really intense, you guys. Like, I was crying like a baby. It was about 2.5, 3 hour long session. And it really helped because it helped open my mom's mind up to possibly continuing therapy, which was something that, you know, was needed. And just the communication is important. But, you know, for me, I've had this battle, I guess, since we've been talking about, and since I get a lot of questions about why I'm not in the program, right, when it comes to AA. And so I keep my thoughts. I don't know if it's my thoughts or if it's like also people around me that have been around me for so many years. We've been talking lately, and a lot of them, majority, think that I am not an addict. I still think I am an addict. And I guess there's this fine line of like, okay, what's the difference between an addictive personality? I know, Renee, you don't believe in that. And versus being an addict.
I do believe there's addictive personalities.
Okay.
What I don't believe is that every single person that's super driven ends up being a drug addict or an alcoholic.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I do feel like I am obsessive. I am driven, but I also have trauma. You know, I've gone through, you know, child abuse, domestic violence, and all of that as well. So it's like, I guess, I don't know. I would love a formal diagnosis, but that's not something Dr. Wexler does. However, I just would love to start the conversation, I guess.
No, but I would say something to what you said because it's interesting. You just said, so many people in my life don't think I'm an addict, but I do. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's really up to you.
It's a self-diagnosis,
It's a self-diagnosis. Yes. So regardless of if it's 5 people or 50 people, because my own bandmates for the longest time told me, dude, I don't think you're really an alcoholic. You just need to like find a way to control it. All the while I'm going, dude, I can't control it.
Everyone's definition of an alcoholic is different. Like some people don't think that alcoholism even is a disease. You know, they think it's hereditary, let's say, or there's so many ways that people think, like if they think that you have to be actively drinking to be called an alcoholic, and that's also not the case.
I think you just touched on a really important point, which is there is a real lack of understanding of what the disease of alcoholism is, right? Some people, I used to have friends that would tell me, you're not an alcoholic, come on. You know, alcoholic is on Skid Row drinking from a paper bag, you know, and that was enough for me. I would say, you're right, I'm not, because I'm drinking fine wine, so I can't be an alcoholic.
Right.
That's not,
you're not a junkie.